I heard my brother's laugh through the basement door before I heard the plan. That sharp, cruel sound he makes when he thinks no one as important is listening. Then came my mother's voice, calm and cold. We'll do it during dinner. Everyone will see. Nadia won't know what hit her. The wooden floor creaked under my weight. My heart hammered so hard I thought they'd hear it through the walls. But they didn't stop talking. They kept planning how to destroy me in front of everyone we knew. What they didn't know was that I'd just been promoted to head of digital strategy at the largest e-commerce firm in Berlin. And I was about to give them a Christmas gift they'd never ever forget. Before I take you into that basement and show you exactly what I heard, I need to know you're with me. If you've ever been the one your family underestimates, the one they think will just take it quietly, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel and leave a comment where you are watching this story from if you want to hear how this ends. Because trust me, they never saw me coming. My name is Nadia Okafor, and for 28 years, I've been the invisible daughter in a family that only sees what shines. I grew up in a 3-story house in Munich where every surface gleamed and every achievement was measured in applause. My older brother, Karim, was the golden child. Captain of his football team, graduated top of his class, married a woman our mother picked out for him like she was selecting furniture. My younger sister, Amara, was the princess. Beautiful and charming, the kind of girl who could smile her way out of anything. And then there was me. I wasn't ugly. I wasn't stupid either. I just wasn't notable. I wore practical clothes. I studied hard but never bragged. I got a job in tech right out of university and worked my way up without fanfare. When I came home for holidays, they'd pat my shoulder and ask basic questions like I was a distant cousin they barely remembered. Still doing the computer thing? My father, Hassan, would ask, not looking up from his newspaper. Yes, Papa. That's nice. End of conversation. Meanwhile, Karim's every business meeting became a dinner table story. Amara's latest Instagram post would be passed around on phones like breaking news. I learned early that silence was easier than fighting for attention I'd never win. But this year was different. I'd actually done something extraordinary. 3 months before Christmas, I was promoted to head of digital strategy at Kaufmann and Weber, one of Germany's biggest e-commerce companies. It was the kind of position people spend 15 years working toward. I got it at 28. My salary tripled. My team expanded to 40 people. Industry publications wrote about my innovative approach to consumer behavior analytics. I didn't tell my family right away. I wanted to wait for Christmas, to see their faces when I shared the news in person. I imagined my father's rare smile. My mother, Fatima, nodded with something close to pride. I should have known better. The Monday before Christmas, I flew into Munich and took a taxi to the family house. Snow had started falling, those fat flakes that look like they belong on a postcard. The house glowed with warm light and I could hear voices inside, laughter, the clink of glasses. I let myself in quietly. My suitcase wheels whispered across the marble floor. That's when I heard them. The basement door was slightly open. My mother's voice drifted up, controlled and deliberate. We need to be careful about how we do this. Nadia's sensitive. I froze at the top of the stairs, one hand still on my suitcase handle. Karim's voice came next, tinged with that casual cruelty he'd perfected over the years. She'll cry. You know she will. But honestly, it's for her own good. Someone needs to tell her the truth. What truth? That was Amara, sounding genuinely curious. That she's wasting her life. My mother again, sighing like this was a burden she'd been carrying. Almost 30, no husband, no children. Just that little job she won't stop talking about. My breath caught in my throat. The computer thing? Karim laughed. She acts like she's running a company. She's probably just doing data entry. She mentioned something about a promotion last month. My father said. His voice was dismissive, like he was swatting away an insect. I didn't ask for details. You know how she exaggerates. The room went silent for a moment. Then my mother spoke again and her words hit like glass breaking. I think we should do it at Christmas dinner. Uncle Jabari will be there, Aunt Sophia and all the cousins. If we're going to stage an intervention, we need witnesses. Nadia needs to understand that her choices affect the whole family's reputation. An intervention? Amara sounded excited now. Like on TV? Exactly, my mother said. We'll sit her down after the main course. Your father will lead. We'll express our concern about her unmarried status, her lack of direction. Karim can talk about career stability. I'll mention how much it hurts me to see her alone. She'll be humiliated, my father said. Not a question but a statement. Good, Kareem replied. Maybe it'll wake her up. I don't remember walking away from that door. I don't remember climbing the stairs to my old childhood bedroom. But I remember sitting on the edge of the bed, staring at my hands, feeling something cold and sharp crystallize in my chest. They didn't know about the promotion, the salary, or the recognition. They didn't know because they'd never asked. They'd built an entire narrative about my failure without checking a single fact. And now they were planning to destroy me in front of everyone who mattered, just to teach me a lesson I didn't need. I pulled out my phone. My hands shook as I opened my work email and stared at the offer letter from Kaufman and Weber. The numbers blurred. The title, Head of Digital Strategy, looked like words from another language. I could go downstairs right now and tell them. I could defend myself, show them the proof, make them apologize. But something stopped me. These people, my own family, were so certain of my worthlessness that they'd planned a public humiliation without a moment of doubt. They'd laughed and rehearsed about it. If I told them now, they'd backtrack. They'd claim they were joking or concerned or misunderstood. They'd smile and congratulate me and pretend this conversation never happened. That's not what I want. I wanted them to go through with it. I wanted them to stand in front of everyone and reveal exactly who they were. And then only then would I show them what they'd underestimated. I opened my laptop. The next 3 days were psychological warfare and I was fighting alone. Every morning I came downstairs for breakfast and watched my family perform their version of normalcy. My mother made her special almond pastries. My father read the financial news. Kareem talked loudly about his latest real estate deal. Amara scrolled through her phone, occasionally showing us photos of herself at various parties. And everyone smiled at me with this thin, pitying kindness that made my skin crawl. Nadia, darling, you look tired, my mother said on Tuesday morning, sliding a plate of fruit toward me. Are you sleeping enough? I worry about you living alone in Berlin. I sleep fine, Mama. Still, it's not natural. A woman your age should have someone to come home to. She said it so sweetly, like she was offering genuine concern instead of judgment wrapped in sugar. Kareem looked up from his coffee. You know, Nadia, I've been thinking. My firm might have an entry-level position opening up. Administrative work, but it's stable. I could put it into words. I stared at him. Entry-level administrative position. I managed to smile. That's kind of you, Kareem. I'll keep it in mind. He nodded, satisfied, like he'd just solved my life. Every interaction felt like a test. They were watching me, measuring my reactions, preparing their case. At night, I'd hear them talking in the kitchen, voices low. Once, I crept close enough to hear Amara say, "Do you think she suspects?" "No," my mother replied. "Nadia never suspects anything. She's too trusting." I went back to my room and lay in the dark, staring at the ceiling. The rage that had crystallized in me that first night began to expand, filling every empty space in my chest. But I didn't let it show. I've learned something important in my career. The best strategy is patience. Let your opponent think they're winning. Let them overextend. Then strike. On Wednesday afternoon, Aunt Sophia arrived with her 3 daughters. She hugged me tightly, smelling like cardamom and expensive perfume. "Nadia, look at you, still so thin. Are you eating? Are you seeing anyone?" "Not currently, Auntie." She made a soft clicking sound with her tongue. "Well, you're still young. There's time." Uncle Jabari showed up that evening, booming and jovial. He shook my hand like we were business associates. "Nadia, the computer girl. Still typing away." "Something like that," I said. He laughed. "Good honest work. Can't all be entrepreneurs like your brother, eh?" I smiled until my face hurt. By Thursday, Christmas Eve, the house was full. Cousins sprawled across sofas. Children ran screaming through hallways. The kitchen smelled like roasted lamb and saffron rice. Everyone was there. Everyone would witness it. I watched my mother move through the crowd, the perfect hostess. She touched shoulders, refilled glasses, and laughed at jokes. But every so often, her eyes would find me and I'd see it. The calculation. The plan is ticking forward in her mind like a countdown. Dinner was set for 7. At 6:30, I excused myself and went upstairs. My hands were steady now and my mind was clear. I opened my laptop and pulled up the file I'd been preparing for 3 days. A presentation. Simple, clean, and devastating. Then I pulled out the second part of my plan. A small gift box, wrapped in elegant silver paper with a black ribbon. Inside was a single USB drive. I slipped it into my pocket and went downstairs. Dinner was perfect. The table stretched the length of the dining room, covered in white linen and candles. Platters of food steamed in the center. Lamb with pomegranate, roasted vegetables, couscous flecked with golden raisins. Crystal glasses caught the light. Everyone was dressed beautifully, laughing, talking over each other in that comfortable chaos that comes with family. I sat near the middle between two cousins who barely acknowledged me. Across the table, Kareem held court, telling some story about outsmarting a competitor. Amara filmed the whole thing for her Instagram story. My mother sat at the head of the table, queenly and composed. My father sat opposite her, nodding along to conversations, occasionally interjecting with his dry observations. I ate slowly, tasting nothing. Around 8, as dessert was being cleared, my mother stood. She tapped her glass with a fork and the room went quiet. "Family," she began, smiling warmly, "thank you all for being here. Christmas is about love, togetherness and truth." My stomach tightened. "And sometimes," she continued, "love means having difficult conversations. There's someone at this table who needs our guidance, our support." Her eyes found mine. "Nadia, sweetheart, could you stand for a moment?" Every head turned toward me. I didn't move. "Why, Mama?" I asked. "Please. Just stand." I stood slowly. The room felt very hot. My mother's smile softened, but her eyes stayed sharp. "Nadia, we love you. You know that. But your father and we've been worried. We've been talking and we think it's time someone said something." My father cleared his throat. "You're almost 30, Nadia. No husband and no children either. You work hard, yes, but at what cost? You're alone." Aunt Safia nodded sympathetically. Uncle Jabari looked uncomfortable but didn't object. Kareem leaned forward. "It's not just that, Nadia. It's about trajectory. You've been doing the same thing for years. Data stuff, right? When are you going to aim higher? Take risks? Build something real?" Amara chimed in, her voice soft. "We just want you to be happy. But you seem stuck." The word hung in the air like smoke. My mother stepped closer. "This isn't an attack, darling. It's an intervention. We want to help you. We've even talked to some people, potential matches, career opportunities. But first, you need to admit there's a problem." I looked around the table. Every face wore the same expression. Pity mixed with certainty. They believed this. They genuinely thought they were saving me. I felt something break loose inside me. Not anger anymore. Something colder. I reached into my pocket and pulled out the small silver box. "Before we continue," I said quietly, "I brought a gift. For the family." My mother blinked. "Nadia, this isn't the time." "Please," I interrupted. "Just one gift. Then we can finish this conversation." I handed the box to Kareem. He looked confused but opened it. Inside was the USB drive. "What's this?" "Plug it into the TV," I said. He hesitated. My father frowned. "Nadia, what are you doing?" "Just plug it in." Kareem walked to the TV in the corner and connected the drive. The screen flickered to life. A title appeared in bold letters. Nadia Okafor, Head of Digital Strategy, Kaufman and Weber. The room went silent. The presentation began to play. First slide. My official offer letter, salary redacted but the title clear. Second slide. A photo of me standing in front of my 40-person team. Third slide. Excerpts from industry articles praising my work. Fourth slide. A screenshot of the conversation I'd recorded from the basement. Their voices filled the room. "She's wasting her life. That little job she won't stop talking about. She acts like she's running a company. She's probably just doing data entry. She'll be humiliated. Good. Maybe it'll wake her up." The recording kept playing. Every word. Every laugh and every dismissal. I watched my family's faces drain of color. When the recording ended, I spoke into the silence. "This is what you think of me. Not what I am. What you think I am. You planned this intervention without asking a single question. You decided I was failing without checking a single fact." My mother opened her mouth. Nothing came out. "I'm head of digital strategy at one of the largest e-commerce firms in Europe," I continued. "I lead a team of 40. I've tripled my salary in 3 years. But you didn't know that because you never asked. You just assumed. Kareem's face was red. Nadia, we didn't. You did. My voice was steady and surgical. You planned to humiliate me in front of everyone who matters. You rehearsed it and laughed about it. Aunt Sophia looked horrified. Uncle Jabari stared at his plate. My cousins exchanged wide-eyed glances. My father finally spoke, his voice tight. This is a private family business. You had no right to record you plotting against me? I smiled. Actually, I did. And now everyone knows exactly who you are. I pulled out my phone and held it up. This presentation? I've also sent it to every member of this family who isn't in this room. Your colleagues, Papa. Your real estate clients, Kareem. Amara's influencer friends. Everyone will see what happens when you underestimate someone for 28 years. My mother's hand flew to her chest. You wouldn't. I already did. 5 minutes ago. While you were talking. The room erupted. Voices overlapped, rising in pitch. My mother demanded I delete everything. Kareem shouted that I was ruining the family. Amara started crying. But I just stood there, calm and cold, watching the chaos unfold. Then I picked up my coat. Merry Christmas, I said. And I walked out. I didn't go far. Just to a hotel 3 blocks away, one of those boutique places with floor-to-ceiling windows and silence so thick you could sleep through the end of the world. I ordered room service, poured myself a glass of wine, and sat by the window watching snow fall over Munich's Christmas lights. My phone erupted within the hour. Text after text. Voicemail after voicemail. Most were from my mother, swinging wildly between rage and desperation. How could you do this to us? You've embarrassed the entire family. Please come back. We can talk about this. You're being childish. This is unforgivable. Kareem's messages were threats disguised as concern. Amar's were just emojis and confusion. I blocked them all. But the messages from others, the extended family, were different. My cousin Layla. I had no idea they treated you like this. I'm so sorry. Uncle Jabari's daughter. You're amazing. Don't let them make you feel bad. Even Aunt Sophia sent something unexpected. Your mother was wrong. I'm proud of you. The presentation had spread exactly as I'd planned. By morning everyone knew. Not just what I'd achieved but what my family had tried to do. The fallout was immediate and brutal. My father's business partners started asking questions. Why would a man publicly humiliate his own daughter? What kind of judgment does that show? Kareem's real estate firm received emails from potential clients pulling out. We don't work with people who disrespect family, one wrote. Amara's Instagram followers turned on her. Comments flooded in. You laughed while they planned to destroy her? Her sponsorships started dropping. My mother called me 30 times on Christmas Day. I didn't answer. On December 26th, my father showed up at the hotel. He looked older than I remembered. His face was gray. His hands shook as he knocked on my door. Nadia, he said when I opened it. Please. We need to talk. No, we don't. Your mother is devastated. Kareem is furious. The family is fine, I interrupted. Just embarrassed. There's a difference. He stepped closer. What you did was cruel. I stared at him. What I did was show people the truth. You're the one who planned cruelty. I just refused to be the victim. He opened his mouth then closed it. Go home, Papa. He left without another word. 2 months later I sat in my office in Berlin 70 floors above the city, watching clouds drift past the glass. My mother had stopped calling. Kareem had blocked me on everything. Amara sent one final message. I hope you're happy. I wasn't happy. But I wasn't broken either. The truth is, revenge doesn't feel the way you think it will. It's not triumphant. It's not even satisfying. It's just quiet. Like closing a door you should have locked years ago. But I don't regret it. My family spent 28 years deciding who I was without asking. They built a story where I was the failure and the burden, the one who needed saving. And when I shattered that story, they couldn't forgive me for it. Some people will never see you clearly. And you can't make them. All you can do is stop letting them define you. I'm doing well now. Better than well. My career is thriving. I have friends who actually know me. And every Christmas I send my family a card. Just a simple message. I'm still thriving and unbothered. Merry Christmas. They never respond. And honestly, That's the best gift they've ever given me. If this story hit home, if you've ever been underestimated by the people who should know you best, leave a comment. Tell me what you would have done. And subscribe to the channel because stories like this, where the quiet ones finally speak up, they're just getting started. Justice isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just the sound of a door closing for the last time.